Hi, my name is Mrs. Crescent, and I am going to be walking you through how to navigate Khan Academy with your student. So once your student logs in, they may or may not log in with Google. So if they're not logging in with Google, they should have their username and password memorized, which was provided by their teacher. So the best way to navigate to get to wherever your child may be working in is to go to the upper left-hand corner and click on courses. And then within that, then you will select your student's grade level. So let's say that your student is in 4th grade. They will click on 4th grade, and you will have to discuss with your student whether or not they were given a challenge through the Mastery Points system, which is the main screen that will come up. Or your student may have been provided assignments from their teacher, or they may be working on their mission. The nice thing about the assignments and the Mastery Points and the Mastery Points also aligns with the mission. So if they're working on their Mastery Points, they should see their mission points increase as well. So you'll see right here, out of 4th grade, there's a possibility of 15,600 points, and I'm currently only at 520, which is at 3%. A good gauge as a parent to see if your student is progressing to the level that we would like them to be at is thinking of it in terms of quarters. So by 1st quarter, we'd like to see them close to 25%. By 2nd quarter, close to 50%, 3rd quarter, 75%, and towards the end of the school year, 100%. Sometimes weekly, your student's teacher may assign them to complete everything in place value. So check in with your student and ask, has your teacher assigned this place value challenge? If they have, they would need to reach 1,500 out of 1,500 mastery points, and this bar right here will fill up as they are completing more and more challenges. So let's take a look at that. So I click on the place value, and it will bring up all the concepts within the overarching goal of learning about place value for 4th grade. So it gives, here's anything with the play button is a video that will help teach your student how to be able to successfully understand and master those skills. So your student could come over here and work on place value tables, identify value of a digit. All of these are broken down into smaller concepts that they can practice. And it says here they can get 5 out of 7 questions correct to level up. As they level up, you'll see this little barometer go up. And once they have the little crown here, that means they've completely mastered that skill. So they can go down and go one by one and practice those. If your student feels confident that they can do those, they can come down and take the quiz, which will go over all of those above concepts. And then they can move on to the skills below. Again, they could practice each one individually, or if your student feels confident, they could come down and start the quiz. If your student feels confident in all the skills within place value, they could come all the way down to the bottom and begin their unit test, which will help them increase to the highest level of mastery. It does take more than one unit test to reach full mastery though. So if we were to start this quiz in here, let's just take a look at it quick. And okay, so here's what it looks like if your student gets it wrong. They have to get it right in order to move on. So what's nice is they can watch a video. Once they get it wrong, there's usually a video or two that pop up, or they can get a hint and go through the different levels of hints that explain exactly how you could understand those problems. So then it'll keep track of how many they're getting correct out of 5, and then that is how they will progress. So if you're working with your student at home, it's very reasonable to ask your student to grow 1% a night. However, the level of difficulty and rigor that is in these questions is very challenging. So we do encourage you to sit down and work with your student on these questions. So how I work with my own children at home is we start on a problem, and if my student at home did not know how to answer these, we would sit down and analyze, not just choosing the correct answer and showing them. We would go ahead and look at, okay, well, what does this picture represent? What does this picture represent? And really use it as a teaching tool to model understanding for all of the questions. And then this isn't a great example, but if I got a question that my child didn't understand how to do, then I would step away from the computer and go through a couple questions that align with that. So if it was a division problem, we would step away from the computer and work on a couple division problems away from the computer and then go back to it. So we definitely encourage you to work with your student at home and help develop that conceptual understanding of the mathematic skills. So we really would love to have you having those mathematical conversations at home. And we understand that you may not be able to work on it every single night, but just set up a time and a plan with your student. When are good days of the week or a time on the weekend where you can or they can set aside time to go in and work on their Khan Academy Mastery Challenge. Or if you're, again, when your student comes to this main home screen, what's great is their Mastery Challenge and the mission won't line up perfectly. They're coded differently, but as they work through this page, their mission will also increase. So if your student was assigned the mission this year, it says looking for mission, click here. That's where your student will go to work on their mission. And you can see they have progressed 9% in their mission. It's actually harder to grow on the main screen than it is to the mission. So we appreciate all of your help and support you give your student at home, and we look forward to seeing all their success through Khan Academy.